What is going on, wrestling fans? It is me, D Loves Wrestling, and today we are going to be talking about how WWE Bad Blood could potentially be a legendary PLE. But before we start, I love hearing what you guys have to say. Let me know what you guys think about the match card so far of WWE Bad Blood. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I know you love wrestling, and guess what? D loves wrestling as well. So let's start talking about why WWE Bad Blood could potentially be a legendary premium live event. The match I wanted to start out with first is Liv Morgan against Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. I believe this match honestly deserved a Hell in a Cell match, a last women standing match in my opinion, but a classic one-on-one for gold is good in my book, and I think this match will be an absolute banger as well. If I had to pick who will win this match and who will officially come out on top at the end of the night, I still believe Liv Morgan is going to retain the title and come out on top at WWE Bad Blood. Now, will it be a clean win? I can't say that completely. I could definitely see the Judgment Day getting involved, or just Dominic Mysterio getting another jab at Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest and causing Rhea Ripley to lose the match. And the reason being that I still think that Liv Morgan is going to retain the title is because if Liv Morgan loses, I said this at the previous premium live event at Bash in Berlin, but I believe if Liv Morgan loses this match, is the story finished? I feel like Liv Morgan should still have the championship, and then Rhea Ripley, when she does win it eventually, because we know it's going to happen, Rhea Ripley will win it on the grandest stage of them all, potentially WrestleMania. Basically what I'm saying, the feud isn't going to end at Bad Blood. There's still so much time, and there's so much more things that they could get involved to make this feud last until WrestleMania. This feud is honestly worthy of a co-main event or a kickoff to a WrestleMania Night 1 or Night 2. The opener is just as important as the main event of the night. So I could definitely see their feud being showcased on the grandest stage of them all at something like a WrestleMania. That's one of the main reasons why I think Liv Morgan will retain, because I still think that this feud has so much more to give to us fans and just the entire pro wrestling fan base. But watching this past Monday Night Raw, could we see Jey Uso potentially making an appearance during this match and costing Liv Morgan the Women's World Championship, and Mommy will actually come out on top? What I love about the matches so far for this premium live event that have been announced is that I feel like they could go with so many different directions of the outcome of the winner, what type of interferences could potentially happen, who might maybe return at this premium live event. There's so many different ways that they could go with this specific feud, like Jey Uso coming out, the Judgment Day coming out, Dirty Dom maybe doing something to help out Rhea by accident, and then it causes animosity between Liv Morgan and Dirty Dom. You don't know. There's so many different ways that they could go about this, and that's why this match could potentially be a co-main event worthy of a stage like WrestleMania. At Bad Blood, I don't see this feud ending. I believe that this match will end with Liv Morgan on top, and this only creating a bigger match in the near future. The next match we have on our hands is Damian Priest against Finn Balor in my eyes, the battle of leadership and revenge, because that is the whole moral of this entire feud between these two that has been built up for almost an entire year, if we're being honest. Not necessarily that they broke up when this feud started, but I think the feud was starting to form when they were still together in the Judgment Day. Hell, you can even say that this started when they were the undisputed tag team champions. And in all fairness, they each have their own case. When Damian Priest won the World Heavyweight Championship, the locker room for the Judgment Day looked definitely a lot different than prior to Damian Priest winning the World Heavyweight Championship, as Damian Priest began to develop this leadership role in the faction where leaders are not a thing. They are not welcome. Everyone is equal. But Damian Priest started to develop this not egotistical characteristic about him, but he was basically kind of letting everyone know, like, hey, I'm the best person in the group. I am the champion. As he does have his argument with that, but he's in a faction where they all agreed that there are no leaders and no one is better than one another. They are all equal. So I do understand Finn Balor in that argument. And not to mention, Damian Priest costed Finn Balor the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth freaking Rollins at Money in the Bank, as he attempted to cash it in, distracted Finn Balor, and then Finn Balor lost the match. So there's a lot of things that Finn Balor can definitely be angry about. But also in Damian's defense, as he was world champion and a little bit prior to becoming world champion, he wanted to settle his own business on his own. And then you have Finn Balor, who always tried to barge in and be like, hey, I'm gonna help you out, I got you, I'll take care of this. Damian Priest wanted to definitely develop leadership characteristics. Not that there are any leaders in the Judgment Day, but he just wanted to be the guy that, hey, they can go to and they can rely on. But that started out with Damian Priest wanting to finish his own business. Everyone in the Judgment Day, basically besides Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio, everyone else in the Judgment Day wanted to help Damian Priest finish his business. As nice as that might sound, Damian Priest didn't want any help, and he didn't need anyone else's help, and he wanted everyone to focus on their own tasks and their own business that they needed to take care of. Like I said, this feud has been going on prior to the Judgment Day splitting up. This feud has been going on probably around 6 to 8 months when they were all still together and everything was looking to appear very good in the locker room for the Judgment Day. But guys, let's be real here. This match is only a kickstart to what this feud could potentially be. This feud, as well as the Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley feud, could also roll into night 1 or night 2 of WrestleMania. There is so much heat, there is so much hatred and revenge that is needed to get done between these two superstars in Damian Priest and Finn Balor that they need to unleash and get off their chest at the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania. So I feel like a lot of these matches on the card are WrestleMania worthy feuds that we might also see copy and pasted onto the WrestleMania card for WrestleMania 41. I haven't even picked the winner of the match yet. I'm just so excited talking about all the feuds that we have on this premium live event. But if I had to pick the winner who will come out on top at the end of the night, I'm going to go with Finn Balor. Because if Finn Balor loses this match, he's been looking like a jobber out there, for being honest. The entire Judgment Day is getting absolutely demolished every time they come out there and try and help out Dominic Mysterio or Liv Morgan on Monday Night Raw. Damian Priest is now Thanos. He's immortal, it seems like. He doesn't get phased by any hits or any sort of attacks. Rhea Ripley completely dominates Liv Morgan most of the time, and it just makes the Judgment Day look weak. How do we fix that? We make Finn Balor win at Bad Blood, and we also make Liv Morgan retain the World Championship at Bad Blood as well. I know they're heels, and they're kind of getting heel things done to them, but let's be real here. If we want to make these feuds even better, we need to showcase Finn Balor as a real threat. And we all know that Finn Balor is a real threat. He's also a top 5 talent, if we're being completely honest, on the WWE roster. For the third match on the card, we have Braun Breaker, the Intercontinental Champion, will be defending his title against the #1 contender, main event Jey Uso. As he might not be main eventing this premium live event, he will definitely be putting on a banger against the rising star Braun Breaker. Before I start saying anything, I just want it to be known that I am extremely excited about this matchup. We get to see Jey Uso fighting for singles gold against the big dog, Braun Breaker. But if I just sit in my thoughts and I let reality kick in, Jey Uso is getting demolished at Bad Blood. We are not going to be seeing Braun Breaker lose to main event Jey Uso. Jey Uso just has a history of losing every singles title match, and it just never goes well for him. Braun Breaker is going to keep leveling up the prestige of the Intercontinental Championship, just like Gunther did prior to Braun Breaker having it, and also prior to Sami Zayn having it, but Sami Zayn didn't really do anything with the IC title. Braun Breaker is not losing it to anyone anytime soon, let alone Jey Uso, who just takes L after L when it comes to anything that will help this man in a singles run. Not that he needs any help, but like, winning a title would definitely help the resume, and I feel like everyone would love Jey Uso as champion. At this point, it just seems like Jey Uso winning a singles title is not in the near future, let alone at all for the rest of his career. Now, that might be a hot take. I think I just took it one step further. The Bloodline feud is coming back. The OG Bloodline against the new Bloodline. That's going to start forming soon, and Jey Uso will be brought back into that mix. I don't know. I just don't see Jey Uso winning at all. I think the match is going to be great, but Braun Breaker is going to come out on top as the big dog at Bad Blood. The next match on the card, we have Gunther, the Ring General, against Sami Zayn for the World Heavyweight Championship. This match match definitely deserves a round 2 after what we saw at WrestleMania 40. That match was for the Intercontinental Championship, as Gunther had the longest reign as the IC title holder in WWE history before Sami Zayn beating him for the title at WrestleMania 40. But this time around, things have changed. Sami Zayn is no longer a champion, and Gunther is a champion, but not the Intercontinental Champion. He moved up, and he is now the World Heavyweight Champion. We went from mid-card gold to main event gold, and Sami Zayn is being put up to the test against the Ring General Gunther. With plenty of time to build up this already solidified feud, I think they could go even a few steps further to build up this feud before Bad Blood. Lately, whoever has been crossing paths with Gunther has been absolutely annihilating the hometowns and the home countries of his opponent in the ring. I could definitely see Gunther making fun of Canada, which is Sami Zayn's home country, and mocking them like crazy to fire up Sami Zayn and maybe bring out a side of Sami Zayn that we saw at WrestleMania 40, which led him to winning the Intercontinental Champion and making him crowned gold at the end of the night at WrestleMania 40, one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. The question that is needed to be answered, though, at the end of the night of Bad Blood, will Sami Zayn conquer the Ring General Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship? This is no longer mid-card gold anymore. Gunther has upgraded to the next level, and one of the final levels of being a main event talent, a main event superstar. Does Sami Zayn have what it takes to take off the title from Gunther this early on in his title reign? I think not at all. Gunther will retain at Bad Blood, but this match might steal the show, as it almost did in their first rodeo at WrestleMania 40. I'm sorry, Sami Zayn, I love going with the underdog, but I'm gonna have to go with the world champion, Gunther. Now, what I believe should be the main event of Bad Blood is the storyline that we have been witnessing for almost an entire year of pure hatred and animosity between these two superstars. We have CM Punk against Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell match. I think the craziest part of this feud is that there are no titles involved. Not once, not even a mention of a title between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. And the magnitude that it has caused of just segments alone, and just the two matches that they've had alone, and then just talking on social media about each other, it created one of the biggest pro wrestling feuds that we have today. It's just between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre and their unimaginable hatred and revenge that they seek out for each other. It's insane. With the way this entire feud has come about, I think the Hell in a Cell match is the perfect stipulation match between these two superstars out of the entire card. They are in the driver's seats for potentially creating 3 borderline 5-star matches out of their only 3 matches that they've ever had against each other, which is absolutely unreal. Rightfully so. We've been witnessing almost an entire year of this banger of a feud, picking who will come out on top at the end of the night of Bad Blood in this massacre of a match. This match about blood and hatred and getting revenge on your opponent is really difficult in this situation. We have Punk versus McIntyre tied at 1-1, and whoever wins this, is this the write-off of the feud? Is this potentially leading to a 4th match? Or is someone potentially getting involved, like a Seth freaking Rollins at the end of the night? This match might be the end of this amazing feud between Punk and McIntyre. The way I can see this feud ending completely is if Seth Rollins comes out at the end of the match, interferes, and costs CM Punk the match against Drew McIntyre. That will throw the heat off Drew McIntyre for the time being, and then CM Punk, Seth Rollins build up for WrestleMania 41. Or we could go with the other route, and it could just be a clean match between these two as they go at it in the ring and they settle their differences on who will take the last and final 3rd match of their series that they've had. This might be a hot take, but if it does end up being clean, I could definitely see CM Punk coming out on top, because if he is going to be feuding with Seth Rollins right after this match, I can't see CM Punk losing and then moving on to a next feud. I think CM Punk builds his resume as he beats Drew McIntyre in a phenomenal feud, and then he moves on to Seth Rollins and almost uses that against Seth Rollins, saying, hey, you saw what I did to Drew McIntyre twice already. I'm going to do that to you next. And they have pure hatred between each other as well. I feel like if this is the final write-off between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk for the time being, I gotta go with CM Punk because I can't see him moving on to the next feud as a loser of this feud. The only way Punk is losing at Bad Blood is if Seth freaking Rollins gets involved. If you got to this point of the video, how can you not even consider this as one of the biggest premium live events just by looking at the match card alone? This premium live event almost feels like a SummerSlam kind of vibe to it. The matches are stacked with great storylines, and I feel like the superstars who are in each match are gonna have great chemistry and put on insanely quality matches. I want to know, who are your winners for WWE Bad Blood? Leave a comment, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We both love wrestling. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.